What's up, everybody? Welcome to Discourse and Chill. I'm Ian.
And I'm your girl, Reese.
Today, we are going to talk about the confirmation of Ketanji Brown Jackson and what it means to us and how important it is for this country. We're going to share with you a little bit about her background, some of her life, and hopefully just shed some light on who this amazing Black woman is who has been the first Black woman to be nominated to the Supreme Court. So, Reese, you want to jump into a little bit about her early life and career?
Sure. So, Ketanji Onika Brown Jackson was born in Washington, D.C. back in 1970. Her parents were public school teachers initially. They moved to Miami, where her father pursued his law degree at the University of Miami Law School. Ketanji states that this was her first introduction to law. She recalls him sitting at the kitchen table with his stack of law books and her sitting at the other side with her stack of coloring books. Sometimes we mimic what we see. So she was trying to be like her daddy. He pretty much introduced her into the idea of law. She went to Harvard. After graduation, she went to Harvard Law School and graduated in 1996. From there, she started as a law clerk for the U.S. District Court of Massachusetts. She entered into private practice starting in Boston with Miller, Cassidy, LaRocca, and Lewis. From there, she moved to Goodwin Proctor and then Feinberg and Rosen. She ended up being an assistant special counselor for the U.S. United States Sentencing Commission, and also ended up being a federal public defender in Washington, D.C., which pretty much led her into judgeship.
Nice. Yeah. So in 2009, President Barack Obama nominated Jackson to become the vice chair of the U.S. Sentencing Commission. She was later confirmed by the U.S. Senate. I can't talk today either. Senate in February 2010. In September 2012, Obama then nominated Jackson to serve as a judge for the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia, and she was kind of taking over the seat that was vacated by retiring Judge Henry H. Kennedy Jr. She was later confirmed in March of 2013, and then in March of 2021, President Joe Biden announced his intent to nominate Jackson to serve as the U.S. Circuit Judge for the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. And then she was later confirmed in June of 2021, which leads us back to you, Reese. Tell us about her Supreme Court nomination.
So she was officially nominated for the U.S. Supreme Court on February 25th of this year, 2022. Of course, she went through the whole confirmation hearing. Y'all saw they tried to drag her for about almost 3 weeks, but my girl held strong. Being officially confirmed on April 7th of 2022, she was recently sworn in to the United States Supreme Court on June 30th of this year, 2022. Can't wait to see the many things that she helps have a hand in changing for the better and her being able to be a voice for a group of people. So super excited, and shout out to Ketanji. Congratulations on hard work paying off, being persistent, and just doing what needed to be done to elevate her to this next level. Black girl magic is real, and Ketanji has definitely been on show for the world to see that we can do it. Persistence is key. Staying focused, staying driven, and just moving in your purpose. So yeah, shout out to Ketanji.
Absolutely. Like, her career is immaculate, right? Like her career trajectory, the
Yeah.
things that she's been able to do, law clerk for a Supreme Court justice, serve on sentencing committees, the district court of the District of Columbia, like her career path is what you would want to see from a Supreme Court justice. It is second to none of the current judges, right? Like her career path has been
Yeah.
like the excellence that Black people have to be to get the
Yeah.
things that white people get for doing less, right? Like she has done
Yeah.
all of the things that you need to do for the job, and I love to see that. Like, what does this mean to you? Like, how does it feel, or how did it feel when you heard about the nomination and then the confirmation and her being sworn in? Like what was I guess, the trajectory of your emotions during that time?
Well, I mean, first, I was like, it's about time, Finally,
That part.
we are at a place where um Black women are being recognized, or are not necessarily being recognized, but being just, awarded for the same work, if not more work, that they have put in as their counterparts have done. It has taken 232 years and 115 prior appointments before a Black woman has been selected to serve. So even that within itself says a lot. It says a lot about the plight and fight of Black women. The fact that, we still continue to push through over all the obstacles to make it happen. So for me, it was like, okay, finally somebody of power looks like me, somebody that can make
Hmm.
decisions for my life looks like me, it's
Hmm.
definitely a win for Black women. It is a championship for young Black girls because representation matters, and to see
It
that this could
matters.
be me, I think, is definitely paramount. Ketanji said, and I mean, I love this quote from her. She says, "You can't always expect to be the smartest person in the room, but you can promise to be the hardest working." And I think that says a lot, not only for
Facts.
Ketanji, but Black women overall. I feel like
Hmm.
as Black women, we 9 times out of 10 are the hardest workers in the room, just to get
Hmm.
to turn the doorknob. But now Ketanji actually gets to sit at the table. So shout out to Ketanji. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's well deserved. It is overdue. It is amazing. It is historical. It is progress in the right direction. And though progress is extremely slow in this country, it is progress nonetheless. So celebrating that is very important. Us having this conversation and being able to speak her name in this way is important. So I think it is amazing that she has had the career that she has had and also got to this
Mhm.
place, right? Because this is the
Yeah.
thing that we talk about. Like, you have the immaculate career, you have the immaculate reputation that comes with that. And us as Black people, and especially Black women, are not awarded the same things that other people are who have done less. And
Yeah.
so it's beautiful to see
Yeah.
that hard work pays off. Um, and to be one of 116 people to hold a position in this country is huge, right? Like, that's why it was so big for
Yeah.
Barack Obama to become president, because he's one of 45 people to be Black or and be the
Yeah.
president in this country. She is one of, I think, one of 3 Black people and the only Black woman, and only one
Yeah.
of what, 6 women total to have held this position
Yeah.
since 1789. Like,
Listen. Yeah.
like, what are we doing? Like, white men, like, there's been what, 109 of them, or 108 of them, and there have been 8 others that have been others, right? Like,
Right. Right.
since 1789. So it's crazy, and I'm proud in this moment. Like I'm definitely proud in this moment to say, like, man, we finally have a black woman in this space. And I mean, we got black Clarence Thomas is in there, but like he's suspect at this point. Like I feel like he's in the sunken place still. So we we don't claim him anymore.
I mean, yeah, I think it's great. I think that again, like little black and brown girls can see that there is hope, even in like her name, Ketanji Onika it's African
Hmm.
for the lovely one. So it is, look, we love
Hmm.
to see it, it is amazing that she has definitely come to a point of recognition that gives hope to so
Hmm.
many others that are working hard to be recognized.
Hmm. Absolutely, and it comes at a time where we're dealing with so much in society, right? So it's nice to have something to say, man, like despite all of this, like police killings still, like gun violence still, racism still, like we have this to say, okay, this is something good. The fight's like job not done, but this is something good, right? This is a
Right.
step, even though it feels like every other week we're taking 50 and 70 and 100 steps backwards. But
Yeah.
I think this is still something to be celebrated, to be yelled at the top of every rooftop, to be plastered all over media, which is not. Like it was
Yeah.
only plastered in
Yeah.
media when they were like grilling her during the confirmation hearing, but it's not something that has been really celebrated
Yeah.
or like shown, right? Like you have to dig for these things. You have to search her specifically. Like you're just not seeing it on
Mhm.
TV. You're not seeing these historical moments just take over news cycles as they should have, right? And that
Yeah.
part is sad and a little hurtful, but I think we know why. You know,
Yeah.
we know why. So I still think it's
Right.
a great thing, and I'm glad we're able to speak about it.
Yeah. I think with the media, they want to control this narrative of who we are as a people. So anytime there's something as positive as, Kentanji's swearing in, of course it's not gonna be on mainstream. You'll find like the small little blurb at the corner of the paper or the bottom of a website,
Hmm.
which is fine, because again, we are still making strives, and even when other people don't recognize us, we are here as people to recognize ourselves. So can't say it
Hmm.
enough. Shout out to Kantanji. Like, just super excited for her. Definitely proud of her. As a mother of two black girls, like I know it has been a struggle trying to balance her career and motherhood. She said that, she's made some mistakes, or there's things that, she may have missed out on, but she hopes that within her journey, her daughters have been able to like pull something from it, and she can't wait to see like what choices they have to, impact the lives of the country as well. So
Hmm.
I'm sure that, because she is greatness, she has also birthed greatness. So the world need to watch out for the other two Jackson girls that are coming up behind her, because like I'm just super super excited um in this moment, not only for Kentanji but also for her daughters,
Hmm.
to be able to say that's my mom, or to see like, I remember when, or mom started here and now she's here, just to
Hmm.
have that example within your house. I'm sure does a lot of good, possibly some bad, but a lot of good in regards to like, your work ethic and seeing how it pays off.
Hmm. Absolutely. I think it's It's very important. I think you and I are also products of that, right? Like you saw what your mom had to do to put food on the table, and you respect that, and also
Mhm.
you mimic that because you're like, I want to be successful like this person in my house, right? Like my mom did this
Right.
for me, and I want to compound on her hard work to become something that
Yeah.
she worked her ass off for, right? And like my parents, very much
Right.
the same. My mom came over from St. Vincent military. My dad was in the military. They had to work hard to give me like enough, like not extra,
Mhm.
enough. And so I want to
Right.
compound whatever they gave me. So when in a couple years, I can one look back at them and like, what y'all need, I got you, right? But that's the first part. And the
Yeah.
second part is like they also showed me how you bring on the next generation. So whether I have kids or I don't, I still want to be somebody
Mhm.
who others can look up to and model themselves after, right? So my work ethic,
Right.
like I have to, right? Like I can't be mediocre because one, it's not in my genes, and two, I can't afford to be mediocre, right? Like I need my
Right.
job, so excellence is the only place I have to exist in. And I know you have that same feeling. It's just like I can't be like everybody else because my 100% is the standard. My 110%
Yeah.
is what people expect of me to be great, and then or be
Yeah.
standard, right? Like, and then my 120% is what I need to do to like really get ahead. And so to have that
Right.
image and that career path and that kind of like timeline and playbook of someone who came before you is paramount, I think.
Mhm.
And I just think that you and I are products of it. So I know that her kids are definitely going to be uh, set up for success, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. I always say, I don't have kids, but I got 4 kids. I have 4 nephews that are my babies. And I am always trying to, instill in them, like, do great, be great. I always tell them, you are great. There's greatness within you. Tap into your greatness. Just because I know like they have the potential to move mountains, so I always tell them be great. So I know that I
Mhm.
have 4 kids looking up to me as an example. I mean, and shout out to my 4 kings, my nephews. I love y'all. But yeah, when you are trying to be an example, and you know that there are eyes that are on you and watching you, you always want to ensure that you are doing things the right way and leading people down the right path. My job
Mhm.
is a white male dominated arena, within the company within itself, so I know
Mhm.
that I have to show up 10 times more than somebody on the same level as me doing less than
Mhm.
me in order to be seen, which is really crazy. But um my name is out there in the company. They know that I get shit done. And
Facts on facts
but I
on
had to
facts.
work hard for that. Like like I really had to work hard. I had to go in. I had to clean up a lot of other people's mistakes. I had to pick up the slack behind managers who were before me that just didn't do and or couldn't do, and every challenge I took ownership of. Anytime I walked into a store that needed to be completely like revamped, I said, this is mine. I took ownership of other people's mess ups once it was handed to me, instead of saying, well, I didn't do this, so and so did that. And I think in me
Mhm.
doing that, people saw that, okay, she's all about the business and getting it done. So, I mean, I didn't have the opportunity to say, well, so and so did it like this, so that's not really mine. I couldn't not take ownership once I agreed
Mhm.
to go in and fix something up. So, yeah, it's one of those things. The work ethic of Black women definitely has always had to be on 1,000.
1,000. 1,000. And I think that I was having this conversation just a couple of days ago with a couple of coworkers about like when you're given the opportunity or what you have to do to get the opportunity. A lot of people like you work hard, you get the next opportunity and you rest, right? And I was like, I can't do that. I don't even know what that feels like or what that even means, right? Like you get the opportunity, you can't fumble the bag, right? Like you've been working your ass off to get this next step. And then you got to get there and work your ass off. You got to take it to another level. And it's amazing to see, and it's positive to see that Ketanji was able to essentially work her ass off, get the next bag, and then continue that same trajectory, right? So like she didn't let anything stop her. She didn't let anything slow her down. And I'm sure she was faced with all kinds of obstacles that other people who were less qualified did not face. I'm sure that she had to move some things out of her way that other people put in her way. And ain't that the story of us? Right? Ain't that the story of how how we get from point A to point B? It's never a straight line, even though it looks like it when we start. You know, like they're like, hey, you just got to do A. There's a staircase for you to get to B, and you get on that staircase and you realize, damn, I didn't know I had to build the staircase to get to B. Like so and so just walking up this motherfucker, and I got a hammer nail and got to find plywood to build these stairs to get to it, right? So yeah, I think it's amazing that we've all understand what it takes to make that next step, and she knew the assignment, right? She knew the assignment to get to where she needed to be.
But the crazy part is, like, even with the obstacles, like, you know, you say, like, okay, from A to B, but to get to B, you got to go up these stairs. And, like, as a Black man, you got to build the stairs to get up. As a Black woman, I got to chop down the tree, then make the stairs, then build it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, even there's even more.
You got to make the plywood. Like, and you might have to make your own nails too, right?
Yeah, I probably have to plant the tree and wait for that bitch to grow before I can even chop it down like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how big the gap is with the responsibility of Black women. You know, we are
for sure,
unfortunately the lowest on the totem pole, you know, and it's really crazy. So shout out to Ketanji. Like she realized, like, you know, she made it happen, and I'm so excited for her, super proud to say that, you know, I am a Black woman, she is a Black woman, and I see myself, you know, in her. So shout out to Ketanji. I can't say it enough. Shout out to Ketanji.
Shout out to Ketanji Brown Jackson, Supreme Court Justice, right? Like, even, like you said earlier, that name, like, I remember there was a period of time where not too long ago, like, Black girls' names were coming under attack, right? Because of their uniqueness, because, like, I don't know, I think they make the mouth an entire musical instrument, right? Like, it's not hard to say Ketanji, like, that just is just different, and it's beautiful, and like you should embrace even being able to hold that name in your mouth for a moment. So I think it's amazing that like shout out to everybody, but like, I'm glad her name ain't Melissa, right? Like, I'm glad her name is Ketanji, and hell, I'm glad her last name is Brown Jackson, right? Like, if that ain't a Black name, and not to stereotype, but if that ain't a Black name, right? It will forever live in lore and in history as like, like, I think that was the greatest thing about Barack Obama too. Like, his name wasn't like John Williams or John Smith or like some assimilated, appropriated name of that held whiteness. You know, like, it's like, no, it's gonna make your mouth a drum, right? Barack Obama. Like, you gotta say that shit. Put respect on it. Like, own it. It ain't George. You know, like.
Oh man. Or Donald.
or Donald. Yeah, but it's amazing to just be able to have these moments and celebrate a little bit, because we don't get this enough these days.
Yes.
We really have become way too accustomed to having to like give eulogies and condolences and take moments of silence and remember those who came before us because they fell too soon, right? Like I feel like those are the things that
Right.
we're
Right.
so accustomed to, and it's great to just take a moment and say, you know what, Ketanji Brown Jackson, let that resonate
Yeah.
for a moment.
Yeah. It's just dope. Shout out to Ketanji.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, I think everybody should take some time, do some research, take a moment, tell a friend to tell a friend, hell, tell an enemy about Ketanji Brown Jackson, and just share her story, share this podcast.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know, if you didn't know, now you know, right? Like so share it and
Right.
take a moment to celebrate. Celebrate. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super proud of all Black women who are out there making it happen. For Black women who are out there changing the trajectory of like their generational curses. I am proud of Black women who have adopted the motto of the idea that we no longer have to get it out the mud. That you know what I'm saying? Like I have just I'm super proud of the successes that we have as Black women. I'm super proud of all the obstacles that we continue to overcome as Black women. And I'm super proud that Black women are actually using their voices, um, saying what they feel, how they feel, and not shrinking for anybody else. I refuse to shrink or dim my light for anybody else going forward in life. If I feel something,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, obviously, but I am also going to be heard. I feel like I have the right for that. This
Mm-hmm.
voice is meant for healing and for change and for prosperity. So why would I hide all of that for somebody else? Like I will live in my greatness unapologetically, and you either bask in it or you move the hell on. That's where I am.
I'm just gonna say amen to that, uh, and let the church say amen to that.
Amen. 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 And
Amen.
amen.
So, but yeah, like shout out to Black women globally and all of you who are doing all the things, all of you who are working a career, raising kids, holding down a
Yeah.
man, or not, or doing it all on your own, and like being mother and woman and businesswoman and
Yeah.
business owner and like even if you're just like housewife and not to diminish that at all, just doing whatever it is that you do to support
Yeah.
life because that's what you do here, right? Like I think
Yeah.
every Black woman supports so much life and holds so much, like holds their
Yeah.
family down in so many ways. And like just shout out to all of you who are doing all the things to just make life better for those around you, right? Like if that ain't
Yeah. Yeah.
the Black women in a nutshell, fuck, like I don't know what else is, but that's what y'all do. Y'all just make life better for those around you. Like y'all got a circle, like
Yeah.
y'all holding it down for your circle, right? And so I know that the
Exactly.
Black women around me
Exactly.
hold me down in ways that like I can't say that anybody else has ever done before. So shout out to
Yeah.
the grandmas, the great grandmas, the mamas, the sisters, the aunties, the cousins, the cousin, the friends that we like y'all, we cousins. Like,
Right. Right.
gosh. Shout out to all of you for holding it down, and shout out to the trailblazers out there who are making a way for the ones to come after you, like Ketanji Brown Jackson. I had an opportunity to go down to Hollywood, Florida, for the National Association of Black Accountants conference, and it was amazing. And one of the things that I took away from it is that there are so many Black women in these amazing positions who are
Mm-hmm.
reaching back and reaching down and pulling people up with them, right? They're like, I'm here
Yeah.
now. I'm not gatekeeping. I'm blowing these gates open. And to
Yes.
see how many people are involved in helping those make the steps that they did, moving the obstacles out of their way. Like, I was impressed, I was in awe, I was enamored, and I love that. And this, I feel like Ketanji is doing the same. I hope that she continues to
Yeah.
go on this path and allow Black women and Black boys and people of color to law clerk under her and give them the opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
remove some of those obstacles that they had in their path as well. So shout out, salute,
Yeah.
kisses, flowers to all the Black women out there who are doing the damn thing. Reese, flowers,
Yeah.
salute for you because you're doing the damn thing as well, right?
Thank you. Thank you. It definitely feels
Mhm.
good to be able to say, I helped to groom somebody else into a position or like to move them up. In the 22 years that I
Mhm.
have worked with this company, there have been countless uh Black women that I have, brought on and helped guide into leadership with this
Mhm.
company or beyond. So just to be able to say that I was able to pour it back into after being poured into is amazing. So it's a great feeling. And I hope
Mhm.
that Ketanji is wearing this new position like a crown of gold. Like I'm just shout out to Ketanji. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to Ketanji. Shout out to Joe Biden for following through and nominating her. And it's one of the best decisions that he's made in his presidency, if not the best decision that he's made thus far.
Yeah.
I really wish that she was replacing, I guess, a more right-leaning judge, but unfortunately, she's
Yeah.
replacing a more left-leaning judge, so it doesn't necessarily, um, I guess, move the numbers in the favor or towards the middle at all. But hopefully, she can just be a Black woman and be her excellent self and start to influence the good, the positives, and the humanity back into the court, because I feel like it's something that is missing from the Supreme Court. And I haven't felt that way until the last like 2 years, I would say, right? Like, I think the last 2 years have been rough
Yeah.
for humans, like
Yeah.
regardless of which side you're of the aisle that you're on. Like, it's just rough for
Mhm.
humans from the Supreme Court these
Yeah.
days. No.
Yeah. Because America's still out there Americaning.
American in like a motherfucker.
Yeah. A mess. It
We
is a
doing
mess.
what we do. But man, but yeah, I think we can end it there. I think just take a moment and celebrate some goodness, celebrate some positivity as a person, not just as a Black person, but as a person of America. Like, this is a good thing for everyone
Yeah.
to have a person of this caliber in the position that she is in, and it's amazing for Black people across the United States, across the Americas,
Yeah.
because this is confirmation that, like, we can make it. This is not. I want to make this clear too, because I heard this recently that sometimes when you have a Black person who is amazing make it to a position like this, it's used as a way to say, look, we are equal. Let's not
Right.
pretend, right? We are not. Like, there have
Right.
been what, one, two, three, four, five, six women in the history of the court there have been 3 black people in the history of the court. There has been 1 black person in the history of the court. Out of 116 people, 108 of them are white men. So this is not equality. This is well deserved.
Yes.
This is a step in the right direction.
Yes.
But this is not. We're not
Yes.
equal still, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
please do not
I mean, and
use this as
fact, yeah.
a way to say. Go ahead.
I say that's fact. We are not equal still. That is fact.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. So please don't use this as a way to say, look, there's somebody black in. Yeah, it doesn't matter. She's still the
Right.
first since
Yes.
1789. We're still doing that. In
Right.
2022, we're still saying, hey, this person is the first black woman. Hey, this person is the first black man. This is the first black person. We're still having these conversations
Right.
and these acknowledgments. So
Right.
let's understand where we are and understand that this is progress, but we're not there yet.
Right. Be like, dear America, this is not the see, I have black friends to erase your racism. Okay? Let's be very clear. Okay? Like, this is not what this is.
It is not. There's no erasing the racism with this one appointment.
Right.
It is still a systemic issue with this as a consequence of somebody's immense work. And like she made it, I feel like her career path is one that made it impossible to be looked over again, right? Like that's what we have to look at this is like she made it so difficult to look past her that she had to be tapped on the shoulder. Like that's what it takes for us. And so we have to understand as a country, not just as black people, but as a country, like just check her resume. Like she can say that to every other justice on this court. Check my resume.
Right.
Because according to my resume, according to my resume, I am overqualified for this position.
Right. Exactly.
So
definitely that.
Mm-hmm. So shout out to her, and also America, please do not use this to erase racism because it's still happening and it's still there. It's what we do best. It's but yeah, it's still a great step in the right direction, and so super proud of Ketanji Brown Jackson. Proud of Joe Biden. I'm gonna say it because he ain't been doing much. Like, but that's a whole other episode that we can talk about.
I would say it's a whole other topic for a whole other day. We're gonna stay in the light on this one. We're gonna stay in the light.
We're gonna stay in the light, We're not gonna bring any darkness to this, but shout out to him for making this nomination and following through with his nomination. Because his follow through ain't strong in this presidency. But that's the last thing I'm gonna say about it. I promise. I swear. But yeah, 1 of 116. 1, and that's amazing that she is the first black woman in the Supreme Court. And like we said before, shout out to Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yes. Shout out to Ketanji. Well, I always say it as we end. Chillers, you are only responsible for today. Our other days will take care of themselves. Be gentle and kind with yourselves. Use your voices respectfully and ensure that your light shines bright. Don't turn it down for anybody. Your voice matters. Your life matters. You being here is a blessing to everyone. So just continue to live in your greatness. Find it, live in it, share it. Be great.
Amen. Amen. This is like a religious experience for me. This is the most amens I said in a long time.
I hear you over there. I hear you over there having a moment. Touch him, Lord. Touch him, Lord. I
All right,
cannot
y'all.
with you.
All right, y'all. Really appreciate you joining us. Please like, subscribe, share. And we really appreciate you having these conversations with us. And please make sure that you have these conversations with your friends. And yeah, let's just spread this good news. Let's spread it and like boost her up a little bit, get her name trending because it should be, right? It should be. But
Yes,
we will definitely see y'all next time. And yeah, y'all have a great day. And we out.
Bye, chillers.